There's great things happening in MassComm. Check out NorthAvenueNation.com for the latest student work. North Avenue Nation covers things happening on and off campus, featuring terrific interviews by MassComm students with Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, Bernie Williams, Rob Astorino, and Nia Vardalos. Also, WICR is now streaming online on Live365.com and Ustream.com. Just search WICR.
I swear, after about 2-3 weeks of listening to Pete Contadori as my opening liner, I may lose my mind. Wow. And especially because I am exhausted and I have not had a coffee. But with that being said, oh no, right? That was such a horrible opening.
Jeez.
I am Spring Like the Season, and I'm here with Kenny. And you're listening to Kenny Loves Spring in the Morning. Yay! Hey. How are you this morning, Kenny?
Oh, I'm tired.
Is that your phone or my phone?
Yeah, no, my phone's on loud. I don't know why that happened.
Stop with the notifications.
Really not feeling it right now.
Right, this morning it's just not a good morning. I woke up and I was just like, I want to go back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
I usually don't dress super nice, but right now I'm literally wearing gym clothes in true spring fashion.
Yeah, I'm really
He's
not.
He's wearing his Brooklyn Islanders?
Well, no, just an Islanders shirt.
What is that? Is that a hockey team?
Yes. Not Brooklyn, but just the Islanders.
Yay! I didn't know that. I guess.
Yeah, you did well. You did well.
Thank you. All right, so with that being said, I think since Kenny and I aren't fully awake, I'm just going to do a cheat sheet from the Daily Beast of the top stories right now. What do you think? Right?
Please do.
So I'm going to do a liner and we'll pretend I'm Brian. Maybe give a little more life than Brian does now. All right, so let's take it away. U.S. airstrikes pushing ISIS from Kobani. ISIS is being forced out of town according to Kurdish fighters in Kobani, Syria. The militants have taken the Syrian city, but 14 U.S. airstrikes over the past 2 days have now hit their key positions. According to reports, at least 19 ISIS buildings and 10 other strategic targets have been bombed. Kurdish forces say ISIS still controls a few key buildings, including the hospital. I'm so sorry. Every time I see bomb now, I just think, bomb them.
Bomb.
Not the point. 16 dead at South Korean concert. 16 people were killed and 10 seriously injured after a ventilation grate buckled under the weight of concert goers in South Korea on Friday. The victims have been standing on the grate to get a better view of the performance by a girls' band called 4 Minute. When it collapsed and they fell 65 feet into an underground parking lot. There were 700 people at the concert, and witnesses say many of the spectators were female students. Why are you standing on top of a grate? That is like the worst thing to possibly do.
Oh, yeah.
Very unfortunate that they're dead, though. Next, Dallas Ebola worker on cruise ship. This is the headline. 2 Dallas health workers have fallen ill with Ebola, but another who may have had contact with the disease is now on a cruise ship.
Ooh,
the unnamed employee of Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital, where a Liberian man named Thomas Duncan died, has agreed to be kept in an isolated cabin on the ship, which is in Belize, where authorities are refusing to allow a passenger evacuation. The employee didn't have a direct contact with Duncan, but may have been in contact with clinical specimens. On Thursday, 75 hospital employees were asked to sign legal documents agreeing not to go to public places or use mass transit. Why are all the people in contact with this guy just traveling?
I don't know. I like how he's on a cruise.
Why are you going places? I mean,
it's actually really awesome that he's on a cruise.
Just stop. You know you were in contact with this man. Just stop moving, because that's how things spread. Stop it. If you didn't get the clear, stop moving. Stop it. Why are you going on a cruise ship? I don't care how much you paid for it. Have the government pay for you, reimburse you or something.
I don't think it works.
You're putting my life at stake.
No, you're fine, Spring. You're not on the cruise ship.
Next, Obama okays National Guard to fight Ebola. President Obama issued an executive order and a letter to Congress on Thursday saying he deemed it necessary to augment the active armed forces of the United States for the effective conduct of Operation United Assistance, which is providing support to civilian-led humanitarian assistance and consequent management support related to the Ebola virus disease outbreak in West Africa. The Pentagon is now permitted to bring National Guard troops or military reimburse to join the effort to stem the virus in West Africa. Around 540 active duty troops are posted in Liberia, helping the country's government and other agencies fight the epidemic, which is a good step on Obama's part, I think. All right, next. Biden's son discharged for cocaine use. Fun. And there's also a really nice picture of Biden, Obama, and his son all laughing together. Look at that, Kenny.
Wait, what was that? What was that headline?
Biden's son discharged for cocaine use.
Oh, good.
Hunter Biden, Vice President Joe Biden's 44-year-old son, was discharged from the Navy Reserve this year after testing positive for cocaine. The Wall Street Journal reports, That was just a weird sentence. The younger Biden was commissioned as a part-time ensign in the Navy Reserve, but failed a drug test last year, putting an end to his brief military career. In a statement, Biden said that it was the horror of my life to serve in the U.S. Navy, and I deeply regret and am embarrassed that my actions led to my administrative discharge. I respect the Navy's decision. With the love and support of my family, I'm moving forward. And Vice President Biden's office hasn't made a comment. Next, MMA fighter attempts suicide in jail. I just want Kenny to look at this MMA fighter really quick.
Oh, God.
He has a neck tattoo.
That is anybody with a neck tattoo.
And he just looks crazy. Oh, okay. Scary. So this is what he's being charged with. An extreme fighter accused of beating his ex-girlfriend this summer attempted to commit suicide in a Las Vegas jail. Jonathan Copenhaver, who goes by the name War Machine, which explains
Excuse me?
the neck tattoo, in his mixed martial arts fights, was found unresponsive with linen around his neck. He had left a suicide note. They also did a typo here. They put suicided note. I don't know if that's a word. The MMA fighter is in detention for brutally beating Christy Mack and a male friend in August and then going on the run. He faces domestic battery and attempted murder charges. So he decides, let me just beat them to it. All right, next. AIDS pastor turns over church property. The Reverend Juan McFarland, interesting name, ousted as the pastor of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church after confessing to having sex with congregants without telling them he has AIDS, has complied with a judge's order to turn over keys, bank accounts, and a Mercedes-Benz to the Alabama church. I'm really happy he's doing that well, that he has a Mercedes-Benz.
He's a pastor. Of course he has a Mercedes-Benz.
McFarland made the deliveries prior to 5 p.m. Thursday deadline that a judge had decreed. The former pastor arrived in a Mercedes around 4 p.m. That's completely irrelevant. McFarland was removed after he refused to step down despite admitting his sexual misbehavior from the pulpit. I just like that he knew he has AIDS and just neglects to tell people, considering this is a pastor we're talking about. A religious, holy... Well, yeah, I guess we could say a religious holy man.
Yeah.
Right, because he's a pastor.
Yeah.
So you just neglect to say, I have a very life-threatening disease, and I am fornicating with you.
Oh.
Thank you.
That's a word.
Thank you. That is a word.
Yeah, that's
all right, next.
Something.
Hong Kong police cleared key protest site. Police swooped in at dawn Friday to push pro-democracy protesters out of Hong Kong's important commercial district of Mong Kok, tearing down tents and barricades. Lines of police officers on protesters gathered at the center of Occupy Mong Kok and surrounded them within minutes. Stop looking at me, Kenny. Authorities have said they would remove roadblocks in the area but would allow protesters to stay at the site. The police action came a day after Chief Executive, can't pronounce his name, offered to open talks with students demanding full universal suffrage for the territory. Because in Hong Kong right now they're pushing for democracy. Stop. Don't look at me like that. I didn't expect that.
4 years old. Aren't you in like a class that goes over all this?
And finally, deadline to kill... Well, no, there's two more. Deadline to kill German hostage passes. An ISIS-linked group in the Philippines threatening to execute a German hostage appears to have let the deadline pass without loss of life. Abu Saif militants captured 2 Germans from a yacht in April and are keeping them on a remote island 600 miles from Manila. The group said it would execute one on a Friday afternoon if a $5.56 million ransom was not paid and if Germany did not stop supporting U.S.-led airstrikes on ISIS in the Middle East, but there has been no word from them yet. A special envoy from Germany is in the Philippines to negotiate. I didn't even know Germany had entered, actually. Or was trying to enter. Pistorius prosecution wants 10 years. Did I pronounce his name right? Pistorius?
Yes, Oscar Pistorius.
Okay. The state prosecution requested a 10-year sentence for Oscar Pistorius, the Olympian on trial for killing his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp. In the trial's final arguments, prosecutor Jerry Nell told the judge the only reasonable sentence would be a long-term incarceration for Pistorius, and said his use of disability as an excuse was shameless. And that is the news of the day. I'm looking at Kenny's face like, that's nice, Spring.
Whoa. That was a lot. Yeah. Good news.
Thank you. All right, so with that, we're going to go to commercial because I just wanted to give the news of the day. And then we'll talk more random news, which is something Spring likes to do. And maybe Kenny and I would finally wake up.